Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Preschool All-Stars podcast. I'm Bethany Johnson, and I am joined today by Melanie Mkwayi. How are you doing today, Melanie?
I am wonderful. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for talking to us. I love
Absolutely.
your backdrop going on here.
Thank you.
That's awesome. We're going to get some info on that. So
Absolutely.
I want to hear all about your preschool, but first I want to hear a little backstory about what was going on before you decided to start preschool and what your background is.
Absolutely. So my background before getting into education, I was in corporate world. I worked for Coca-Cola and it was great. I worked from home, great benefits, all of that.
Nice.
But I was very unhappy.
Okay.
So I literally, back in October of 2016, I woke up one day and I put in my resignation. It was probably like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my gosh. Did
I
something happen,
know.
or were you just that unhappy and it all culminated to that moment?
Yeah, it all culminated to that moment. Like I was just done. So
Wow.
after that, I had my bachelor's in business. So after that, I did an in-home for a little while. So while I went back, the first thing I did was I got my basic certificate that you can get here in Georgia. It's the TCC. So I
Okay.
got that. And as I was doing the home daycare, and then that got very overwhelming quickly because it was just me.
Mhm.
And you have to do everything. And home life and business life just collided and it was just so much. So I
Right.
said,
Do you have
okay,
kids?
I do. I have 3 kids.
Oh man, what are their
So
ages?
they are 11, 7, and 3.
Okay.
And so it was too much. So I decided I still wanted to work in education. That was just my passion. So as I continued on with my education, getting where I needed to be educationally, I decided to go back into working in daycare. So I was a lead teacher for 1-year-old, 2-year-olds, even preschool age. And I eventually got my master's in early childhood.
Ooh, awesome.
So yeah, so my goal was always to have my own center. And so I decided to go in the administrative part because that was really what my background was in corporate. So I became an assistant director at
Okay.
one center. And then I moved after COVID, I went to another. And it was crazy, even the hours. And it just didn't work out for me in my home life with my kids. I just
Mhm.
was spending too much time away from them. My husband, he's a truck driver, so he works overnight. So
Oh,
when I would go home and work was done, well, work really wasn't done because I
right.
still had to do everything for my kids, make sure they
Yeah.
had dinner, homework, all of that. So I decided to quit. I quit that job twice. The second time, I really had just had enough. And so I found Joy. Someone had actually tagged me on Facebook, Joy's her book and everything, and I got in it, but I didn't do it right away. But after I left, I said, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead, full speed ahead, and do this because it's like, why not? And I'm so grateful because I had the support of my husband on this journey so far. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Okay, so you have corporate experience and then you have daycare experience.
right.
And did you start an online or a local preschool?
I started online, and
Okay.
I think it was because of the whole thinking back when I had the home day.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, I don't want to do that
You're like
again.
traumatized. You're like,
I
I
was
don't know
trying,
how to
yeah,
do it.
that's true.
Yeah.
So
Okay, awesome.
online.
So tell me about your online preschool. What's it called?
Okay, my online preschool, my baby, is called Planting Seeds Christian Preschool Online.
Awesome.
So my niche is it is faith focused. I am a Christian, a believer, and I really wanted to. My tagline and what I live by is or for my preschool rather is laying the foundation biblically and academically.
Mm.
So really bringing the two together in this online environment, and it's been so much fun.
Yeah, I love that. I love your backdrop. I'm trying to
Thank
just kind of
you.
see all the stuff going on. It looks so
Yes.
organized and bright and happy. I love
Thank
it. Oh, the
you.
trees.
I
Oh,
have my
okay.
tree. We just finished a lesson on trees actually, but
Oh,
the
fun.
kids love it so much.
Super fun. Okay. So how many students do you have right now?
So right now I have 6 students.
Okay.
I have
And
6.
when did you open?
Okay, so I started telling everyone about my preschool in April, and I officially started classes in June. I
Okay.
started with a 8-week summer camp, and then I took about a 2-week break, and then I went right into my fall sessions for the school year. So it's so exciting.
Oh, I love how much you love it. That's
I
great.
do.
You can tell how much you love it. Okay, so what are your hours?
So my hours, so I do a class from 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern time, and then
Is that
I
half an
also
hour?
have one. It's an hour.
Okay.
So here's the thing. I started out doing just 30 minutes with the kids, and I
Mhm.
quickly realized that that wasn't enough time.
Mhm.
So we do hour-long sessions, and so it works out pretty good. And then I have an afternoon class from 1 to 2 p.m. So,
Okay.
and
Are
I
there
just do
two
Monday
separate
through
classes
Thursday.
or is it the same kids meeting twice?
So I have a couple of new, okay, let me tell you all about this.
Okay,
So,
tell me all about it, girl.
okay. So I did something a little bit different to start to get to know and get more kids or more families involved in my preschool. So I did something that I call a focus group.
Okay.
So what I did was I put a post out, and I've told a few people about it, but this is the first time like everyone's gonna know about it. Okay.
Okay.
So I put a post out and say, hey, I'm doing a focus group. It's a 2-week focus group. I'll send you materials, and then you can just try my preschool for 2 weeks. And then I did a very extensive survey at the end. So when you think about focus group, typically you try out the product, and then at the end you get a reward. So my reward was sending the materials to them. So I just did a little pack of, crayons, markers. I had a bunch of stuff that I got on clearance, so it wasn't too bad for me.
Okay.
So
And was it free? This was free for them to try your class?
yeah, it was free
Okay.
for them to try it out. Yes. And
Yep.
so I was not prepared for the amount of response that I received
Oh,
for
okay.
this. Yeah. So that's why my classes kind of got split up a little bit. So I do have a couple of, I have 5 in my afternoon class, but in my morning class, I do have 2 students actually. And so I know I said I have 6. It's because one is ending a scholarship and she's not going to be able to continue. So I am trying to get more students to fill in that class. And if I can, I'm going to suggest to my mom to maybe try the afternoon class if she can. But I
Mhm.
am trying to get more in that class.
Yeah, totally. So how did you get, is that how you got all the students? Did you do that instead of the regular founding family script? Or did you do both?
Um, I did a little bit of all of it. So with the founding family, I got 1 student.
Okay.
And then after that, I did the 1K in 1 day,
Okay.
where I was able to get the scholarship. So with the scholarships, I had 3 students over the summer. I had 3 students over the summer. Was it 3?
Awesome.
I'm trying to think. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 4 students.
And
I
they were
think I
all on
had 5.
scholarship?
Honestly, I had 5. Yes, they all did the
Oh,
scholarship.
cool.
One actually paid for the first month, and then she was able to get the scholarship for the next month. And
Okay.
out of those, 2 of them stayed on with me for the fall, so we got them signed up and everything. And
Mhm.
then with the focus group, I got 3 more from the focus group, and then one that just happened to find me and just signed her daughter up. So it has been
Awesome.
awesome. And let me tell you about the focus group. So I had over 30 people that responded. I ended up turning out the
Wow.
form. And I just had a process where I sent them an email. They had to respond so that they can get their kit, which they did. And so, well, some of them did, not all of them. And so I had them come through. Some of them, of course, continue, but the really good part about it was the feedback that I got from my survey. It helped me to know what they were looking for, what they were needing. It helped me in adding more things to my program, as well as coming up with a membership for those that really, they just want guidance. Some parents just want guidance of what to do with their kids at home because there are so many at home. So
Mm.
yeah, that is
Okay.
that's
So
that.
since you got some parents who were just looking for guidance, what could you offer them?
So what I am almost done working on is, okay, so one other thing that I do, and this is going to be a part of that, is I have a Facebook group, a free Facebook group that they join, and I do Fun Fridays every Friday.
Ooh.
It's so cool. Recently, we did the virtual sip and paint where they brought their snacks and their juice boxes and we painted. We painted a moon picture because what I like to do, I usually start with the book. And based on that book, I'll choose activities throughout the month for us to do every Friday. And they absolutely love it. And of course, we always end with dancing. They love the floor is lava. I can't say no.
Oh yeah, my kids love that too.
Yeah. So with the ones that just want something, some help, I'm putting together doing a lesson plan for them. So it'll be a monthly lesson plan and just suggestions of what they can do with their kids for the month. And then I also use some learning apps. So I would do an assessment test with the child. I'm going to do a lesson plan, a monthly lesson plan, and then I'm going to add them to my learning apps that I use. So I use Zern Math, I do Seesaw and Boom. And so what I would do is just every week, maybe assign them a couple of activities based on the results of their assessment test that they can do with their kids, and I can just provide feedback. But that is basically it for them. And then they can see me live on the fun Fridays that I do. And so for that, I'm going to offer that for $24.99 a month. So
Wow,
that is what I'm
really
putting
cool.
together.
I haven't heard anyone offering that. That's a new thing. So you give them an assessment, and then are you creating like individualized lesson plans based on their assessment, or you're just sending them out to the same thing to all the kids?
Yeah, I'm going to send out the same thing to all the kids. It'll probably be based along the lines of what I do with my normal class, just suggestions for them. And then I would assign individual assignments through those learning apps based on their assessment test. So,
yeah. So you, do you pay for the learning apps and then you like give them the login so they don't have to pay for the learning apps, or do they pay for the learning apps as well and you give them their path on the apps?
So they don't pay for the learning apps. I actually don't pay for the learning apps.
Oh, nice.
They're pretty free for me.
Perfect.
So
okay.
Yeah, so it works out good because again, there's some that they just want something to
that's
know
really
what
cool.
to do. Yeah.
Yeah, because then they all, even if they're only paying $24 a month, they can go to other people and be like, oh yeah, this lady offers this and this and a full preschool class. So that's good word of mouth for the people who can't pay full price, but still want a little something and can tell others about you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's awesome. Wow. Okay. That's a really cool idea. Okay. And how much do you charge for your online class?
So right now it's $97 a month. It's Monday through Thursday. But I am getting ready to change that around a bit because I've just added Spanish as well to the classes. So I'll offer the 2-day for $97, and then the 4-day will be $167 a month.
Nice. Awesome. And you said they're an hour a day?
They're an hour, yes.
And is it like half an hour of teaching time and half an hour of like preschool pals time? Are they muted for some of it while you teach, or are they not muted? Are you guys having discussions the whole time? How do you run it?
We are pretty much having discussions the whole time. So the first part of class, honestly, I feel like I overplan, which is good because I end up saying, okay, you guys have to finish this for homework, because I have a bunch that they like to conversate and they love to ask me questions and they love to share different things. So most of the time, the first 20 minutes is we do our welcome. I have a morning or afternoon message for them, tell them about what we're going to do. I have them guess. Can you guess what color we're going to do this week, or what letter? I have clues on the page for them to see. Then we do our scripture and prayer. And then we do, calendar time, and then we dance before we get into the lesson. So that takes about 20 minutes. And then we get into the lesson. And then, of course, our activity for the day, whether it be a craft. I break it up. So like Mondays is language. Tuesday, we do art. Wednesday, we have math. Thursday is science. So we do it that way. And it's all, cohesive with whatever our theme is for the week.
Yeah, that's super fun. I love that. And are you coming up with the curriculum yourself?
So I use Joyce, and I actually use it as a guide. And I pretty much, if I don't see an activity, because I know how my kids are and what they kind of like, I'll try to choose something from Joyce's curriculum, the fundamentals. But if not, then I'll find something, or I'll create something for that day, for specific day, depending on what we're working on.
Perfect. Okay, so what would you say has been your biggest roadblock so far in starting all of this?
I would say, I guess, being consistent for me, I think this is just a personal thing, just being consistent with posting about it and being consistent, like on my social media and things like that. That is my biggest challenge, and I'm really trying to overcome that. But other than that, and just really mentally just pushing past, like, of course, with any business, it's going to take time, but I have just been just really remembering like what I've been through and what it's taken for me to get here. And I just giving myself an attitude and just saying like, I have to continue, I have to keep going. And that actually is not very hard for me because I love it, but just being consistent on social media and just really just taking it one day at a time.
Yeah. The social media is hard for me too. I hate having to post and think of fun and engaging things to say for the parents. I can do it for the kids all day long, but doing it for the parents is a lot harder for me.
It's different. Yeah.
Yep. So what would you say is your favorite part about owning your own preschool?
I think my favorite part, I told you that I have a 3-year-old, is having her join me in class every day. And, it's just us at home during the day. So she really looks forward to it. And she loves seeing her friends. And that's my favorite part. Being able to teach her along with the other children is just amazing. I love that.
That is fun. That's super fun. I can't wait till my little one can join the class. That's super fun. Absolutely. So, what is your next step? What's your 5-year plan or your next goal for your business?
Okay, I definitely would like to fill both my classes. And then also, I actually am a tutor as well. So,
cool.
Yeah, I tutor in the afternoons / evenings. And so I've been trying not to overload myself because, I have my kids. I want to make sure that I can, but I definitely want to, outside of my tutoring, I do want to do homeschool enrichment courses as well for the elementary grades.
Cool.
So I definitely would love to do that. And I see myself for sure hiring some help because this is a lot.
It's a lot.
My husband's like, are you still on the computer? I'm like, I'm sorry, I have to finish. But I definitely see myself filling my classes and really ramping up the homeschool enrichment and definitely the tutoring as well. I love it too. My strongest is math, so I enjoy it so much. And I do that virtually as well. So
that's awesome. I just want to give you a little encouragement that I've been talking to, doing like second round of update interviews with women I talked to last year who were just starting. And all of them have said that, like, our first year we are hustling and hustling and hustling. And it feels like it's never gonna, you're just gonna have to just keep going. And then the second year, you're able to slow down. In fact, you have to like tell yourself to slow down because you're like, I've been hustling for so long. I need to be able to slow down and enjoy all this. So keep going, and you'll get to the place where you're able to feel like you can take a breath. It's a lot starting a new business and doing everything yourself. It's a lot. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand, and the husbands don't understand all the time either. I have to tell my husband, I'm like, I understand, but I'm the only one doing these things. If I don't do them, they won't get done. Especially when you have families depending on you to sign online, and at a certain time you have to do that.
Absolutely.
But it'll get easier, girl. You're doing the thing.
Thank you.
How would you say that being part of the Preschool All-Stars has helped you along your journey?
Okay. I would not be where I am without Preschool All-Stars. I love being a part of the All-Star group because, first of all, it's a community where, like you said, not everyone gets it. They get it, and just being able to bounce ideas off of others. And you have some that have been doing it for a while, and everyone is just so kind and working together to push each other. I totally would not be where I am without Preschool All-Stars. I would never leave Preschool All-Stars.
Yes, that encouragement is what we all need.
It's the best place. I think even when, on those days when you feel discouraged, you can go into the group and you can kind of just vent how you're feeling and what's going on, and everyone would just surround you virtually and hug you and love you and like, okay, I'm better now. So it's definitely a game changer. Having all stars on this journey. It's amazing.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
It is like a virtual hug when you go in there. I like that.
I'm telling you. It's
Totally.
the best.
So what would you say, this is usually my last question, what would you
Okay.
say to anyone who is in your shoes a year ago or before you started and they're not happy with their job or they're, wondering if they can do this? What would you say to them to give them a little encouragement?
I would say just believe in yourself and really take that leap of faith. I think some of us are really just afraid to take that first step, not knowing. But the amazing thing is that Joy has laid it out for us.
Mm-hmm.
And you're really not doing it alone. You have someone with you holding your hand the whole time, getting you to that place. And as I stated, I definitely wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for Joy, and everything that she's put together and Preschool All Stars. It's amazing. So I encourage you to take that next step and you will be so glad that you did. Trust me, I am.
Yeah. Okay, actually have one more question for you.
Okay, sure.
A lot of the women come from, different backgrounds that isn't in education, and you came from the corporate world. How would you say that? And, some people say, I can't teach. I don't, I've never taught before, but how would you say that your skills that you utilized and learned in the corporate world, you were able to bring it into this world?
Absolutely. So in the corporate world, I worked and I was thinking through all of the jobs that I've had, and mainly I was a scheduler. My job was to schedule when I worked at Coke. I worked for the airline. I scheduled the routes for the pilots and flight attendants. And that truly has helped me out with my preschool, because as I am putting together my lessons, I'm scheduling things, I'm bringing it all together. And not only that, not only with being in the corporate world, I'm sorry, not only scheduling, but there was a part, if you really think about it, at some point you had to teach someone something. Totally. You had to. And so I did work that as well in the corporate world. Like I ended up doing some training as well in my positions, the various positions that I'm in. But I just, you definitely can teach. You can teach. There are plenty of resources, and definitely use whatever experience that you've had in corporate and bring that to your preschool. Trust me, the kids will love it. If you really think about it, there's a way for you to bring it all together. It can happen.
Yeah.
It can happen.
I'm gonna ask this question to everyone, because I feel like everyone has a background, and everyone, no matter when they're corporate, they're stay-at-home mom, they're working. I mean, there's so many skills that people can bring to this that can help them, and people don't realize that when they say, I've never taught before. Like you've probably taught something in some way, or worked with kids in some way, or had some skill that helped this, and Absolutely. So I want to be able to highlight those so we can encourage other ladies. And I want to thank you so much for talking to me and telling me your story.
Absolutely. Thank you for inviting me. I enjoyed our chat today.
Me too. And I can't wait to catch up next year and see where you're at.
Absolutely. I can't wait.
All right. You have a great night. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
If you'd like to have a success story just like that one, I invite you to join our Preschool All Stars. It's my exclusive membership community where you'll get mentorship from me with weekly Q&A lives, support and guidance and friendship from hundreds of women on the exact same journey as you, starting, running, and growing their preschools, and my exclusive access to Preschool University, every training and done-for-you file that you'll need for every milestone on your journey to help you start, run, and grow your preschool. We've all been there, and we've got the exact same steps that you need to go through, but we do it all very quickly so that you don't have to waste time or money doing the wrong things at the wrong time. We'd love for you to join our Preschool All-Stars membership. Just go to preschoolallstars.com or click the link in the description to immediately jump into Preschool All-Stars. Again, go to preschoolallstars.com and we'll see you there.